Got the homers out. Come on. Come on, guys. Last video people saw, I was still settling a lot of these guys in the racing loft. Most of them went missing. I had some really, really bad luck settling. Come on, guys, get out. Lost almost everybody with the exception of most of the black widow birds. And it kind of stumped me quite a bit. That the problem was, first day I let them out, most of them went missing. Even though, you know, it's generally recommended to, give your birds about, 10 to 20 hours in the settling pen. And these guys probably had, I don't know, they probably had 60 hours in it. Probably 6 or 7 times what's necessary. And needless to say, a lot of them still just went missing. Kind of stumps me, and I've actually had a pretty big problem with the rollers. Losing a lot of birds at settling. And I thought maybe, and I've flown in the same location for quite a while, the same birds, and I thought maybe, I picked up a stupid gene in my roller somewhere, and I was just starting to lose them, and I don't think that's what it was. I mean, it shouldn't happen with racing homers. It kind of had very similar results. Losses wise, and I think it's a couple of different factors was responsible. And obviously the losses were quite devastating. I started with 16, and there's 7 of them left. And these that are left, I've had no problems with them. Nobody's really disappeared. They always come back. They trap well. They're starting to fly all right now. So they're going to be road training here pretty soon. And so I really haven't had a problem with the ones that are still here. And the others are off some of the same pairs. So it's kind of mystifying. And I think what it is a combination of the fact that I started them a little later than I should have. That's one. I think the bird of prey population is a big problem. What I saw that first day they were out, the coopers were around pestering them, so they were flying off. So I think the coopers were a factor. Just with the constant petty harassment the coopers tend to do of them. And I think the other issue is I've had a lot of development go on here lately, and I think that is the big critical factor. That old landmarks that were here, Farmer John, might have had a big barn, big trees nearby, and all of that stuff's going away now. It's all going away into track housing. And kind of everything has become very, very cookie cutter, and I think that is the big factor. I even had talked to Rick Mee, who runs Apple Cup, and part of the reason I asked him was I knew that before he started racing, he had flown rovers in a lot of different locations because he was in the military, so he was always being kind of transferred around the country and whatnot. So he'd really flown in more conditions than anybody I'd ever heard of. Multiple states, in the countrysides, in the cities, and I asked him, and I said, did you ever go through a spate where, you kind of had unacceptable settling losses? And he said, yes, I did. And I said, well, where was that? And he said, in town. So it kind of makes you wonder, is it the fact that, there's development goes on and maybe erases landmarks? Is it 5G towers? I don't know. But needless to say, lost half of this race team pretty much during the first few days of settling. There were a couple that I didn't lose the first day, but I lost them the second and third day. They just sat here on the roof the first day, and it seems like once they took off and started flying, that was it. Never saw them again. Just disappeared. Even lost a couple of the differents, which was surprising. I figured they would kind of be the sturdiest, and it actually turns out that the black widow birds, even though I lost a few, the majority of what is left is black widow blood. So pretty interesting. I'm going to flag these guys up. So there go the racers. One not grouping with them. They're kind of still scattering around, but they fly a lot faster than rovers do. Still kind of all over the place and not really grouping up, but they're kind of in a loose group and just kind of racing around as fast as they can. And they're not flying too long yet. They're still learning. Like I said, I started them pretty late, much later than I would have liked to. I've got one of these wants to land about. He seems to want to sit on rooftops and whatnot. So they're not flying along yet. But I haven't really pushed him. There's the one from the rooftop left. The white wing. This pied. But they're trapping well. They're starting to fly, so they're starting to learn. So I'm happy about that. They're going to be road training pretty soon. Pretty soon. And I was kind of hoping to start road training them probably by around December 1st. And that seems to be going to plan. So these are pretty typical black widow birds. Like I said, a lot faster than the rovers fly. Come on. The black white wing's a little slower than I'd like him to be. Doesn't sitting around a lot. There's still one Jansen bird out somewhere.